Hello, welcome to the Carla Knits podcast. Today is Friday, July 30th, and this is episode 21. I've been gone for a couple weeks, but I'm really happy to be back with you all. This is a podcast primarily about knitting, but also crocheting and all of the yarny things that I love. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as cbcraftygirl, and links for that are down below in the show notes. So show notes are down below for any patterns or projects I talk about, any yarns that I talk about. You can find that down below. We have a group on Ravelry for this podcast under Carla Knits, and we currently have a make-along going on. It's Merry Makealong 2021, and this started on July 1st and goes through August 31st, and it is for anything if you want to get a head start on your Christmas making, gifting for other people, or even making something Christmassy for yourself. You still have a month to hop on board, so we'd love to have you join us. There are already some beautiful finished objects in the Ravelry thread, and there are finished objects and some works in progress on Instagram. So there are 3 ways you can potentially win a prize. I will be drawing prizes from the chatter thread on Ravelry. I will be drawing from the finished object thread on Ravelry, and then I will also be drawing from the Instagram hashtag Merry Makealong 2021. And if you use Instagram, make sure you tag me there so I make sure that I see your project or your progress on your Christmas making, your merry making. I do have a couple of prizes to share. I made a couple of project bags, which I will be adding to the prizes for the make-along. So I did share some prizes on the last episode, so episode 20, and I have a couple more to share with you. So I have 2 drawstring bags. My daughter Jenna helped me pick out the fabric. She really liked this. I don't know if you can see, but there is some silver in the ornaments are actually silver toned. So it's a generous sized drawstring bag. I think at least 2 skeins, if not 3 skeins. It would be good for socks, a hat, a small shawlette, mittens. So this is one of the prizes for the make-along. And the other is this also drawstring, same size bag, but this is knit print fabric. So it shows knitted items on there, which I thought were so cute. There's hats, there's swatches, there's mittens, there are skeins of yarn, there are bowls with yarns already rolled up. So I just thought that was so cute. And then this tealy blue fabric, I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually the knit stitch, and that continues through the inside of the bag. So those are 2 prizes for the Merry Makealong. So you have until August 31st, so still plenty of time to join in. If you are a maker, a designer, a stitch marker maker, or a yarn dyer, bag maker, if you would like to donate anything to the podcast or specifically to this make-along, please feel free to do that. I would love to show your product or design. So you can reach out to me either on Instagram through direct message or message me on Ravelry. Still a little bit more of admin. Before the Merry Makealong, we had the Spring Stripes Makealong, and I was still waiting to hear from one winner, and I haven't heard. So it's been a month, so it was time to redraw from the finished objects on that Spring Stripes Makealong. So I did a random number generator this morning, and I redrew from that finished object thread, and the number that was picked was number 10, and the winner is SMC Kenny on Ravelry. Her name is Sherry, so congratulations, Sherry. And she made a beautiful pair of striped socks, which she had striped herself, so scrappy striped socks that were really cute. So congratulations, Sherry. If you can reach out to me by direct message or message me on Ravelry, that would be great. And you will win the Felici sock yarn in the Chelsea colorway. So congratulations to you. All right, I guess a little bit about what I'm wearing. I have this fun yarn skein t-shirt that I got recently, and it is by OneMoreFabric on Etsy. And I did check on there today. They are running a sale, 25% off, it said, for the next 23 hours. So if I get this up today, you would, if you watch it today or early tomorrow, you would still have some time maybe to get in on that sale. But there's several knit themed shirts. So I thought this was really fun. It says, "I don't have a yarn problem." So I just thought that was really cute. So really fun shirt. So I will make sure I put that in the show notes down below as well. So it has been a couple of weeks since I've spoken to you. So we have quite a bit to talk about. So we will get into some finished objects. So you saw this as a half object and work in progress last time, but I have completed my Aqua Tofana socks by Ghazal Mohammed. I test knit these for her. This really sweet pattern has bobbles following the cuff, and it features a little bit different of a slip stitch heel, which I really enjoyed. The yarns I used were, the main color is Noble Character Crafts in her Living colorway, which I did say last time, this was maybe a one-off colorway, so I had gotten it at a discounted price, but gosh, I love that. It's beautiful coral color. And the toes are leftovers from an Advent mini. I had gotten the Cornbread&Honey Advent calendar for 2020, and this was day 18, so I had some left over, and I thought the little blips of coral went along really nicely with the main color. So I am very happy with these socks, and I have entered these in the Crazy Sock Ladies summer sock camp. So magic loop for those. All right, one more finished object, which also goes along with a little bit of talk. I had said last time that I was going to be going on vacation to Michigan, so I was, trying to think about, or I would be thinking about what I would be bringing along in the car, what knitting projects. So this is one of the knitting projects. But I have completed my pair of mittens for Jeff. So participating in my own Merry Make-Along, I made these mittens for Jeff for Christmas. I don't know if he knows about them yet. He'll forget about them hopefully between now and then if he did see me working on them. I was working on them in the car, but it was when Jeff and Jenna were in the front, and I took some time in the back seat. So that's when I was working on the second mitten. So the pattern is the World's Simplest Mitten by Tin Can Knits, and the yarn I used is Cascade 220 Superwash in, let's see, color number 296, Myrtle Heather. You can see that they're a little big on my hands, so they will be perfect for Jeff. I made the adult large, and someone had asked me, I believe in the comments below, how many skeins of yarn would it take to do this, or how many would I use? And I just used one ball of the Cascade, and I do have some left over. So one ball was plenty for a pair of adult mittens. So that is my first Christmas present done for this year, I think. Well, one of the first for Jeff, I guess. So going along into my whips or things that I took along on the car trip, we went to Michigan. It's about a 12 to 13 hour trip. It was made a little longer through the Chicago traffic. You know, at times we were really stopped, so it gave me plenty of knitting time, although I did take my turns driving, but I did have plenty of knitting time in the car, which was great. So my second work in progress, something that I took along on the trip, and you've seen this before, is my Autumn League pullover, which I am making as a knit along with a strings attached podcast. The last time I had showed you, I was on the back, so I have completed the back of the sweater. I hope you can see that. And then the pattern instructs you to pick up and knit the sleeves next, but I decided I wanted to do the neckband. So I did that neck ribbing in the car, and I haven't bound off yet, but what will happen is that I will fold this over and tack it down on the inside. So if you have been watching for a little while, you know how open that neckline was, but putting that ribbing on really helped cinch in that neckline. So this is, like I said, for a knit along being hosted by the Strings Attached podcast, and Mallory has gotten pretty far on her sweater and she has finished the neck. She did her neck before doing the sleeves also. So I had messaged her just how exactly she did tack down the neck, because there really were no directions in the pattern. It just says sew down the neck. So I asked her and she told me how she did it. And then I also looked up and found a tutorial on Instagram. It's the Instagram name is @FringeSupplyCompany. And there is a folded neckband tutorial on there, which I think is very helpful too. So I will bind off and be sewing this down really soon, and then working those sleeves. So this knit along goes till the end of August, so I am hopeful that I will be getting that done in time to meet that deadline. But it's a really fun project I have been really enjoying. I've shared before, I'm knitting that with the Lion Brand cotton jeans yarn, very soft. So I look forward to keeping going on that sweater and eventually having that in my wardrobe. All right, a new whip, which I took along in the car, and I believe it's a sock. So I believe I started the ribbing just a little bit before I left, maybe a day or two before I left, so I would have that cuff cast on. And so I did, and this is the first sock, and that is how far I am. This is the Evergreen Sock, let's see, by Madeline Gannon. And the yarn I used is by, let's see, Fig and Posy Fiber Company in the Sage colorway. And hopefully you can see those sweet trees on there. And it has an Eye of Partridge heel, which I think is just a lovely looking heel. And I hope you can see the variations in this green. I think it is just beautiful. This I am also knitting for the Merry Makealong. This was specifically asked for by somebody near and dear and special to me, so I'll just share. It's my mom, and I took it with me, and so she knows that I am knitting on this for her for Christmas. Hi, Mom. So I think she enjoyed seeing it while I was with her in Michigan. I knit this pair of socks, or this pattern earlier, like last Christmas into January, made a pair for myself. I really loved the pattern. The tree part, you just want to keep going through the chart or the written instructions just to see those trees develop. So just a super fun pattern. So through the heel, flap and gusset and decreases, now just working down the foot of the sock. So had to have my sock, a sock to work on in the car. So that was really fun. Another thing that I brought with me. I guess this is the fourth thing. So I brought 4 things with me in the car to knit on. I brought my mittens, I brought my Autumn League pullover, I brought a sock, and then I brought a shawl. So this is a new shawl that I have started. This is, let's see, I did have a picture of it. This is Cinder Rose by Kalurah, Hudson. And hopefully you can see what that looks like. This pattern came out in 2020. I had it in my favorites on Ravelry. And when my friends and I, knitting friends and I recently went yarn shopping, I saw this as a sample knit up in the yarn store and I thought it was just beautiful. I love the striping, but then the edge, which I know this isn't a great picture, but to show you up close, but the edge is just this beautiful lace work. It looks like baubles, just a beautiful edge. So that will be so fun to get to. So I decided I would like to work on or make this shawl. So here is my progress so far. And I did start on this a bit before I left on vacation, just to start to kind of get the rhythm for it, but a very, very easy pattern so far. I know that I will have to concentrate when I get to that border, but right now it's very, very easy, very relaxing knit. So it alternates between stockinette sections and then a garter ridge stripe. The yarn that I'm using, it is a worsted weight pattern, but I went looking at my friend Joanne. Hi Joanne, who has yarn in her house from when she stopped having the yarn store in town. The yarn I chose is Kenzie by Hikoo. I have this kind of silver gray color and this bright purpley color. So Kenzie by Hikoo, it is a DK weight, so the shawl will turn out a little bit smaller, but I hope it still blocks decently. The colors are called, let's see, this is called Glacier, and then this one is Boysenberry. And the content of this yarn is really interesting. It's a 50% New Zealand merino, 25% nylon, 10% angora, 10% alpaca, and 5% silk noils. So there's a lot going on with this yarn. It is a little bit more rustic-y feeling, but Joanne had something in her house that she had made, I don't exactly remember what, out of this yarn, and I felt it, and it really does block out nicely, and it softens when you block it. So it's been very, very nice to work with. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about this project. I love those colors together. That bright boysenberry color is just really fun. So that is my Cinder Rose shawl. I have one more work in progress to show you. I did not take this in the car with me, but I put work into it the week before that we left on vacation. And maybe some of you have guessed, it is my ranunculus. I had asked last time if I should hold this yarn or have this yarn separate or hold it with a mohair. And as you can guess, I held it together with a mohair, and several of you had suggested or commented in the comments on the last episode that would be really nice. So I did do that, and this, I hope I don't drop any stitches here, is the progress on my ranunculus. So this is a pattern by Midori Hirose, a very popular pattern on Ravelry and on Instagram. Lots of people have made it. So I have made some good progress on it. Now I haven't picked it up in over a week, so I will be anxious to get back to that. But I believe I have all of the lace parts done. I could be wrong about that since I haven't looked at the pattern in a while, but I have a good portion of the yoke done. The yarns together are beautiful, working together. let me tell you the yarns. This is, let's see, Winter Blossom. It's by Knit One Crochet 2, and that is in the Sage colorway. And then this lace weight yarn, this mohair lace yarn, is by Craftily Dyed Yarn on Etsy. It's a kid silk lace, so 70% kid silk mohair and 28% silk. And this is in the Succulent colorway. And so I really think that it is knitting up really nice together. Yeah, so that is my final whip, and I am anxious to get back to working on that one in particular, since I haven't had that with me on vacation. All right, just a little bit of chatter for today. Thank you all so much for the birthday and anniversary wishes from the last episode. That was so nice and so kind. So thank you very, very much for that. And well wishes for our family trip to Michigan. Thank you so much for that. We had a lovely time in Michigan visiting my family. I got to see my mom and dad and my sister Laura. It was just a really nice time, and visit my church where I grew up. So it was really nice. Of course, going to Lake Michigan, to the beach. We got to go to Michigan Adventureland. Any of you in Michigan, if you've been there, we got to go to the amusement park. I'm not a big ride person, but I did okay. Jeff said I was a good sport, so I did do all the rides that Jenna wanted to do, or that he wanted to do, and the water park rides. So that was a lot of fun as well. So a really nice trip. But now, you know, we drove all of it to get to Michigan in one day, and then this week, Wednesday, we drove all the way to get back, and now we just kind of hit the ground running. School will be starting soon, less than 2 weeks for Jenna, and about 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks for Jeff and I to start back to our teaching at Concordia. Yes, Concordia. I don't think I've said that before, but that's the university that I teach at. It just feels like summer's starting to wind down, which I am ready for this heat to be gone. We came back on Wednesday night, and it was, you know, it was like 100 degrees. So the humidity is so high. And I know many of you probably have the same heat too. So I hope you are staying cool, managing to stay cool in this heat, drinking lots of water. Jeff bought me a fan for my birthday, which was so sweet. So I have that fan going by me when I'm sitting and knitting. We're going to the pool and cooling off. So finding ways to stay cool in this heat. But I am dreaming of cooler temperatures as fall is right around the corner. One question that I had from the comments down below last time was what face cream I used. So I did share that answer there, but I'll share it here too. I use actually a generic oil of Olay cream. I use Walmart brand oil of Olay cream. So I'll share that. I had asked on the last podcast about this cowl. I had shared this. This is kind of my floppy Christmas cowl. And so I had asked for tips on maybe what I could do, maybe to make it not so floppy. I do think it's the nature of fingering weight yarn. It's very drapey. Someone had suggested taking out, you know, this light pink edging and knitting it with a smaller needle. I think that is a great idea. Just not sure I really want to work on this right now. This does not have my interest right now. I still really love the pattern, but just not sure what I want to do with it. Someone suggested knitting a whole complete liner for that, which again, I think is a very great idea. Would definitely give this more stability. But again, don't know if I want to do that. Some of you had said you could, you know, slip it over a pillow for a Christmas pillow, or even just make it into a pillow. So I could, you know, sew one edge down, stuff it, and sew the other edge, and make a little Christmas pillow. So to be honest, that's the one that's that sounds probably the best to me at this point. But I am just gonna, I guess I maybe will say, let this project be in a little bit of time out now. Just so I make sure I do with it what I want to do. So it can spend some time just being, and I'll figure out eventually what I might want to do with that cowl. Okay, one more question I had asked on the last podcast was if you preferred a weekly podcast or an every other week podcast. Just trying to think about my schedule. I really do enjoy doing this. My thoughts behind maybe going to every 2 weeks was just so that I would make sure that I had enough progress on my projects, to show you guys, to make it and keep it interesting. And sometimes just having that week, and especially as I'm anticipating with school, the start of the school year, things are going to get a little more hectic. That maybe it would be good to go to every 2 weeks. The thing about waiting every 2 weeks is that then I will be talking at you more when I do that podcast, and the episode might get a little long, and I don't really want it to ever be too long of a podcast. And I love weekly podcasts. There's a couple that I follow, so if I have a weekly podcaster that I really enjoy, I really like looking forward each week to that. So I guess I'm still on the fence about that. So I guess stay tuned to see what I decide, or maybe it will still be some combination of I'll try to do every week for a while and then maybe take a break every now and again. So very kind responses to that. A lot of you say you like to see it every week, but you understand if I wanted to go to an every 2 week schedule. So I really do appreciate you guys commenting down below. So if you'd like to share anything this week with me or comment, I love hearing from you, and I do try to read those and comment back as soon as I can. So please feel free to comment on the episode down below. If you liked this episode, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to this podcast. I would appreciate that. So I think that is all for today. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. My dryer is buzzing at me. So I guess that is my sign that I need to be done and do some things around the house. So I hope you have all been well the last couple of weeks. I hope that you are staying cool if you are in this very heated weather. I hope that you are staying safe over the summer. And I also hope that you are enjoying some fun crafty time with whatever craft you enjoy. So with that, I will say goodbye, and I'll see you soon. Take care.